If you're not using these 3 marketing metrics, then you're doing something wrong. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Sweat, Strategy, and Success. This is the go-to resource for entrepreneurs in the health and wellness industry to become the best versions of themselves, both personally and professionally. My name is Soleil Rain. I'm a marketer and passionate storyteller, and my mission is to share the untapped stories of the brilliant minds shaping health and wellness today. In this podcast, you'll find inspiring stories and actionable strategies towards growing your business and cultivating a healthier, more fulfilling lifestyle. Today, we're going to be talking about the 3 most important metrics that any health and wellness business can use in order to inform their marketing strategy and their overall business objectives. If you're not using these 3 metrics, then there's no way to determine your marketing budget and ultimately whether you're using your marketing dollars in places that are actually helping to grow your business. Because at the end of the day, that's what we really want. We want to be able to grow our businesses and bring in more people who want and need our goods or services. I was once helping a company where I came in and they didn't have any of these 3 metrics. And so their marketing strategy was a little bit all over the place because they weren't able to tell whether one platform was doing better than the other, if their marketing dollars was over the amount of money that was coming in. And so there was no way to continue to inform strategy and ultimately match the overall business objectives that they had set for the company. Figuring out these numbers really helped this company because without these numbers, there was no way to determine whether the marketing dollars that we were spending were actually helpful or not. So if you're looking into figuring out whether your strategy is working or you're just starting to put together a strategy, then these 3 metrics are going to be extremely helpful in figuring these out for you. Now, just before we start, there are many other marketing metrics that you can look at and you can find that are helpful towards building out your strategy and your overall business objectives. But these are the 3 most important in my opinion and what we're going to be focusing on today. By the end of this episode, you're going to have actionable insights on how to understand what's happening with your business's performance and how to improve it. So what are marketing metrics and why do they matter? Metrics are the foundation of data-driven decisions. Without them, there's no way, zero, I'm telling you 0 right now. There's 0 way to determine whether your marketing strategies are proving value to your company. They help optimize budgets, improve performance, and ultimately drive sustainable growth over the long term. Now, the marketing metrics that you're gathering should differ based on channel, goals, and the types of campaigns that you're running. So, for example, you're running an Instagram ad campaign, then you're going to look at the metrics associated with an Instagram ad campaign and ultimately in the rest of your funnel to determine whether that campaign was working for you or not. And you can also put them side by side with other campaigns and determine which one did better. And use the one that did better and continue to grow from there. These can help you determine whether you're ready to scale, what you need to do better, and how you can keep moving forward. Now, the ones that we're looking at today are more overarching metrics for your general marketing strategy that are helpful for each customer and your business goals. If you're interested in learning about the specific metrics that you can pull from marketing campaigns and different channels, then I highly recommend that you do the research into figuring out what works best for your business and the goals that you have set. If you don't have goals set with your marketing campaign, then there's nothing to measure it up against. So for example, you want to get 30 new leads from this marketing campaign that you're running. If you didn't know you wanted 30 leads and you ended up getting 15, then there would have been nothing to compare that up against to say, well, I actually got less than what I wanted, what I needed in order to make XYZ happen. And this is what I can do better in order to get there. So you always want to have goals set with measurable values in order to determine whether a campaign is doing well or not. Ultimately, marketing metrics provide a clear picture of your brand and your growth potential. So which metrics should every direct-to-consumer health and wellness company use in their marketing strategy? First and foremost, customer acquisition cost. I hate the abbreviation of this, CAC. It just sounds so intense, almost. CAC. Your CAC. I don't know. Another thing that you can say is cost per acquisition, which essentially means the same thing. And we're going to keep going into these a little bit deeper right after this. But this is the first one, customer acquisition costs. Next, we're going to go into customer lifetime value. And last but not least, return on investment. These are all so important in the general marketing strategy that you have for your company. And without knowing the specific numbers for these, there is no way to determine whether your marketing strategy is doing well. I cannot emphasize that literally enough. I think I've already said it like 10 times during this episode. But without these numbers, there's no way to determine how you can do better and what you're doing bad at in order to improve those things. So customer acquisition costs, customer lifetime value, and return on investment, all very important. So first and foremost, customer acquisition cost. Why are you telling me about the CAC again? Like, what's going on? So customer acquisition cost is the cost that it took to acquire a new customer. So the formula for this is total marketing spend divided by number of new customers. And as I mentioned before, this can be for your general marketing strategy, or this can be per channel. So for example, you spent $80,000 on your marketing in total, and you received 800 new customers. Or you spent $10,000 on your Instagram ad campaign, and you received 200 new customers from that. You would take the total marketing spend and you would divide it by the number of new customers. You want your cost per acquisition to be less than the revenue the customer brings in over a certain period of time. If this is the case, then your marketing is on the right track. That means you're spending the right amount to get even more money on top of that. This gives you some insight into how efficiently you're acquiring your customers. Are you using the right channels? Are you spending the right amount of money? Do you need to pull back a little bit and redetermine your strategy? Or can you start putting some more dollars behind the channels and the campaigns that are working in order to continue to grow out from there? This can also help determine whether your marketing spend is sustainable over the long term and something that can be continued to be used over the long run. If you're having issues with your CAC, some things that you can do is target more specific audiences. And a lot of this comes down to digital marketing and the other type of data that you have available to you, what programs that you're using. But if you find that your cost per acquisition or your CAC is over the amount that you're spending, then start targeting more specific audiences and trying to figure out what it is that they want. And are you actually fulfilling a need? Are you solving a problem for them? And make sure that you're creating content that is solving that problem. Think about using retargeting campaigns as well. So if they come on to your website, retarget them in another area such as social media. And of course, leverage organic marketing strategies to continue to grow your overall brand awareness and making people trust you more in order to help convert at a higher level. Next, we have customer lifetime value. Now, customer lifetime value is the total revenue from a customer over their lifetime. So say you have a service that costs $200 every time somebody uses it, and this person comes in 3 to 4 times a year. It means you're actually probably going to get around $600 to $800 from that customer over their lifetime. So the customer lifetime value is determining whether or not this customer is coming back and how much money they're spending over their lifetime. Now, why is customer lifetime value important? Customer lifetime value is important because usually the best people to market to and where we can really use our money the best is engaging with customers who are already existing within our company instead of trying to gain new customers. Customer lifetime value is important for proving how often quality is better than quantity in marketing. To maximize revenue, some of your campaigns should always be aimed at better engaging existing customers. This also can help determining how much you can afford to spend on acquiring new customers. If you know over their lifetime value, they're going to be spending a certain amount of money. So, for example, your cost per acquisition or your CAC is above, but you know for a fact that your customer lifetime value is longer than that. So you're going to make up for that amount in the long term. This isn't something that I would recommend to a lot of people unless you know for a fact that your customer is going to come back and you have the marketing strategies in place in order to make sure you're continuously engaging with those customers so they keep spending money with you. Um, but if the case is that you don't know if they're going to come back or not, or you're more of a one-stop shop, and in general, I recommend that you just go with your CAC, but your customer lifetime value is extremely important towards indicating the loyalty and the overall health of your brand and whether people are coming back to you or not. So what's the formula for customer lifetime value? Formula is average purchase value times purchase frequency times customer lifespan. So, for example, the average purchase value is about $50. Purchase frequency is that they're buying twice per year, and their customer lifespan is about 3 years. So you know that your customer lifetime value is going to be $300. And so you want to make sure that when you look at your customer acquisition costs, that it is less than $300 for certain. But also, just if they're spending more money overall, then that gives you a good indication whether your brand is healthy and people are coming back to you for more goods. And overall, that you have a marketing strategy in place that is engaging your existing customers. If you're having difficulty with your customer lifetime value, definitely focus on the bottom of the funnel. So re-engaging the people who have already bought from you. A really great place for this is email campaigns. Make sure you're collecting emails. And also social media is a great place just for community and getting involved and bringing people into the conversation with you. Think about building loyalty programs through your social media and your email marketing campaigns. Focus on exceptional customer service. People love when things are easy and simple for them, and people treat them like people. And companies aren't just trying to take their money from them, but they're actually looking out for their well-being and whether the product or service is actually helping them at the end of the day. And as always, offer personalized recommendations and upsell opportunities later on in other email marketing campaigns and on social media, etc. Your customer lifetime value can include license renewals, product plans, upselling, cross-selling, whatever it may be. All of those can be included into your customer lifetime value. And lastly, we have return on investment. ROI. Now, this is a big term that I think a lot of people have probably heard before. What's our ROI? How's our ROI? Man, I just make myself laugh sometimes. ROI is the revenue generated for every dollar spent on marketing. Now, your return on investment is probably your most important number, and the number that you're most likely bringing to your CEOs, your director of marketing for certain campaigns, whatever that may be. Your return on investment is very important for the general health of your company. Are you getting a positive return on investment for the marketing dollars that you're spending? Now, your formula for determining return on investment is, in parentheses, revenue minus marketing spend, outside of parentheses, divided by marketing spend times 100. You want your ROI to be a percentage, and so that times 100 at that end there is just to turn that into a percentage for you. So we have our example here. Our example is that you generated $96,000 in revenue. Your marketing spend to get that $96,000 was $8,000 across all platforms. Now we're dividing that by our marketing spend again, which is $8,000, and we're timesing that by 100 in order to figure out what our ROI is. Now, our ROI in this case is 1,100%. Now, this would be a great ROI if you came to your CEO or your marketing director and you said, "Oh my gosh, we got 1,100% ROI." This is a little bit unattainable, but an example nonetheless. I wanted to show the equation more than anything. If you're looking at ROI, you're not looking at 1,100% of a return on investment. You're looking from anywhere to 5 to 12% is still considered somewhat of a good return on investment. While looking up what a good return on investment is, specifically for startups within different sectors, consumer discretionary is about 5.93% and healthcare is 4.72%. So you want to be able to be realistic with your return on investment numbers as well, and making sure that you're not reaching for 1,100% return on investment, that you're being realistic about what your marketing campaigns look like and how much money that you'll be receiving from them. And as I mentioned before, setting a metric is great, is what you need to do before you start any campaign in order to make sure that you're reaching to some goal. If you don't reach that goal, then you can figure out why and create the necessary adjustments in order to improve your marketing campaigns in the future. And return on investment is really our value driver when it comes to marketing campaigns. So your ROI is going to be able to show which campaigns are really driving the most value and which ones you should continue to put more marketing dollars behind and which ones you should step back from. If you're having some difficulty with your return on investment, here's some things that you can do. Make sure that you're focusing on high-performing channels, staying on there, engaging with your community, and making sure that people are converting from that channel. Test and optimize your campaigns regularly. A/B testing is the name of the game. And making sure that you're constantly putting things out there that people are clicking on and choosing to go from point A to point B in order to buy your product, testing your landing pages, etc. And double down on the strategies that ultimately drive the best results. If you know that one campaign is working a lot better than another campaign, continue to improve on that campaign. Try to see if you can duplicate that campaign in another channel, or seeing if it works in another channel, or maybe try using some different copy with it, sending them to a different product. Continue to test and really double down on the strategies that you know work for your business. I know that was a lot of information, and I tried to narrow it down to the 3 most important ones. As I said, there's so many more, and these are really vague if you don't have something to apply it to. So right now we're going to go over kind of an example of what all of these can look like. And make sure to like, save, and subscribe if you've enjoyed this episode, and share it with someone who's learning more about marketing or wants to improve their existing marketing campaigns. When you're able to figure out all of these for your business, you are more informed on what works and what doesn't work, and you can continue to use those strategies that are working to continue to grow your business. So here's our example. Imagine you're a wellness brand spending $8,000 a month on ads. Over the past month, you acquired 320 new customers with an average purchase value of $50. On average, your customers make 2 purchases a year and stay with your brand for 3 years. I know that was a lot of information, but stay with me. We're going to work through it together. So your CAC, our favorite word. For a CAC, what we're going to do is we're going to divide $8,000, which is our ad spend, by 320, which is our new customers. That gives us a cost per acquisition, or CAC, of $25. And if we're looking at an average purchase value of about $50, that's pretty good. We, of course, want it as low as possible, and this will be dependent on your overall goals. But we do know that our cost per acquisition is lower than the average purchase value, which is a great start. Our customer lifetime value, what we're going to do is we're going to multiply $50, which is our average purchase value, by 2, which is the purchase frequency per year, and then by 3, which is the customer lifespan of 3 years. Our customer lifetime value is going to be $300. Now, lastly, for our ROI, we kind of went over this already, but if your 300 new customers each generate $300 in customer lifetime value, the revenue from this group is $96,000. Subtract your $8,000 ad spend, and you've made $88,000 in profit. Divide $88,000 by 8,000, then multiply by 100. Your ROI will be 1,100%. But what does this all mean? Your cost per acquisition, or your CAC, is below your customer lifetime value, which means you're acquiring customers at a sustainable rate. The ROI here shows your campaign is highly profitable. So you want to continue to work on that campaign and build it out if you can, in order to continue to bring in more customers via that campaign. Consider scaling up your business if you have a high return on investment. I hope you found that this information in this episode today was helpful. Ultimately, using your customer acquisition cost, customer lifetime value, and return on investment is going to give you a better idea of what your marketing strategies look like and whether you're heading in the right direction with your marketing strategies, your marketing campaigns, and ultimately your overall business goals. If you haven't already, start tracking these 3 things in order to continue to grow your business and make sure that things are functioning well within your marketing strategies. These metrics will help refine your strategy and give you a better idea of where you can allocate your budget. If you're tracking different metrics right now for your business, I'd love to know that too. Please let me know either in the comments if you're on Spotify or on YouTube, or feel free to reach out to me. I'm also going to put my social media handles in the descriptions of these podcasts. And let me know what metrics you're using as well. And if you need any help in trying to figure out what these mean for your business, please reach out to me as well. I'm super open to talking and learning more about what you do and how I can help and how these metrics can help you at the end of the day, because I do want you to succeed. And I think that this is a great place for you to start in order to continue building out actionable marketing strategies for your business. If you like this episode as well, please let me know. I haven't done an episode like this where I dive more into specific marketing material and marketing education practices, and I'd be happy to continue to do that if that's something that people are interested in. So please let me know if you enjoyed and you took something away from this episode. It would really help me in determining what you all want to hear. Thank you again for listening to this episode of Sweat Strategy and Success, and I'll see you next week. Bye.